Welcome to Drawfee, where we take dumb ideas
and make even dumber drawings.
I'm Nathan.
I'm Jacob.
I'm Julia.
And today we are doing a draw class episode. We're teaching you how to draw eyes.
Eyeballs.
One more eye. So many eyes.
There's always a need for more eyes. You think 2 eyes, you got
Done.
enough?
Jacob's done. He did it.
Jacob drew. So Jacob's starting us off with
Can
2
I go?
dots.
Am I good? Yeah,
he's
am I
done.
good to go? I'm done, right?
He can leave the room.
Oh, you can go.
Good
Yeah.
job, Jacob.
I should mention that this episode is brought to you by Skillshare. Usually when we do a class episode, it's sponsored by Skillshare because they're all about learning. They're all about teaching you how to be a better artist or writer or whatever you want to be. If you get inspired by our bad advice, you can go to Skillshare and get some actual professional quality classes. And for just the month of January, they are offering 3 months of Skillshare Premium for just 99 cents. That is 3 months of unlimited access to 18,000 classes. They got some ones in there. There's one that's about drawing eyes specifically. So if we do a bad job today, don't worry about it. We got Skillshare.
Nice.
It's nice. Jacob, you drew more than eyes.
That's more than eyes.
You drew a whole friend. Get out of there.
I'm encouraging you while you do the read.
Oh, thanks. Okay. But it should only be eyes, because eyes are the window to the soul, and Skillshare is the window to learning.
Yeah.
Let's start the episode.
Sure. Okay, so I'm starting off with like some simplistic cartoon eyes, because I think we'll go up in complexity. And the simplest eyes, just dot eyes.
Just dot eyes.
You saw in that little dude I just made?
Yeah.
They're effective, they're cute, everyone likes them.
Or if you want to draw some Tintin eyes, elongate those.
That's what I was about to say, man.
Oh,
Line eyes
man.
are number 2.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah. We got
Take those dots,
some
make them
Bomberman,
lines. Now
some,
you've got some line eyes.
You can see a lot of those Tintin eyes in some of Julia's comics
Yeah.
on Dorkly.
I'm just going to move them over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are good.
When you had it under those other dudes, it looked like
Like he was
it looked
crying.
Like it was motion blur. Yeah.
Oh, like it was a motion smear?
Yeah.
That's pretty
That
rad.
dude was rocking out.
It looked like vertical Morse code.
So then another type common in like the comics sphere, you got the touching orbs. When it's 2 complete orbs and they touch in the middle. This is like the kind that Andy would do in his comics. Andy Stewart.
Andy Stewart.
This was his type of
Noob
thing.
the Loser.
Big touching eyes.
The eyes what touch.
The eyes what touch.
Because in real life, eyes tend to not touch
They shouldn't.
on a human face.
In an ideal world, they would not.
But in a comic, you can get away with it.
A fun trick you can do also with any of these that have like, actual eyeballs is you can just take the pupil size and adjust it and get like a totally different effect out of it.
Oh yeah, this is sort of like big, emotional, watery.
Yeah,
kinda.
so if you do like big circles and make them like this, they're gonna look like they're like in awe or getting emotional or something. It'll be depending on the mouth.
These look like you got an Elmo.
Yeah, exactly. If you do a little smile, it's like, oh, he's really having a good time. But if you do like
that cute frog friend.
if you do like a little wobbly mouth like this, it's like, oh, he's about to cry.
And you can you could even add a little sheen to those.
Yeah, you can add if you just do like something like this. You can add a little sheen, a little Charlie sheen.
Now I'm in awe.
Aw.
Yeah.
Then you got a kind that I do a lot, which is like smaller circles far apart. This is also like
the eyes what don't touch.
the eyes what don't touch, and then you can sometimes like drift. If you want to go Tony style, you can drift the pupils, and it gives
the Tony MO.
it gives the character like a unfocused look. Like they don't know. Like it's if you want to make someone look more stupid, you just drift one pupil a bit, and it's like suddenly they look like they have no idea what's going
There's
on.
just a little vacant. Yeah, drifting the pupil, getting lost in the drift.
Yeah, get lost in the drift. You have to be drift compatible.
Yeah,
It's like really subtle stuff, but it actually does make a huge difference
Yeah.
in doing it. So then the last one I'll do, and I'll pass off to Nathan.
Okay.
Move these guys over here, is one that I've been doing a lot recently, which is like, and this also segues because Nathan's going to do more anime style stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This segues into that a bit, but it's a kind that's like circles that aren't quite connected. So it starts like this and then has an underline, but they don't actually connect to each other.
In 2 parts.
And so then you can,
The open eyes.
Yeah,
Hey.
you leave your circles open. You can kind of get a nice whimsical sort of look to it.
People is just slightly in too much. And
Yeah,
it's
I know.
making me laugh. Can you please explain Sonic eyes? What would you categorize that as?
Sonic eyes, that's a forbidden eye type.
Okay.
It was
singular eye.
it was made illegal.
It's one eye with two pupils.
One eye, two pupils, not a fan. Other comics do that too, and I hate it.
It's
He
what
went
happens.
too fast one day.
Yeah.
His eye melted into one.
It's if you take the touching eyes and you make them touch too much.
You make them touch too much, now they're all
Now they're
one
in love.
thing,
You drew a little heart.
and they have pupils like this.
Yeah.
And God, it's just the worst.
That could be Mickey Mouse's butt.
It could be Mickey Mouse's butt.
Or a hat.
If I made like this his face. This is not Mickey Mouse.
This is Lemmy Lemur.
This is my Mickey Mouse now.
This is the true
This
mouse.
is the true mouse.
And he's like got his arms out like
He's doing a little handstand.
he's doing a little handstand.
Oh yeah. Here's a fun fact. Any eyes you're not happy with, just turn them into a butt.
Turn him into Mickey Mouse's butt.
This is an art school secret. We're letting you in on all the hot tips.
This is great.
I am leaving this.
Yeah, please do.
This is good.
You guys have to deal with that
so
now.
that's Jacob's eye corner
My
of the
eye
canvas.
extravaganza.
I want to draw.
Yeah, please do.
So these are all sort of straight on views.
Yeah, totally.
But something to consider when you're drawing more forms that you want to make seem three-dimensional is the human face is not flat. So if you just want to sort of have it at maybe a 3/4 view or a 2/3 view, the eye that's closer to you is going to seem longer. And then the eye that's further away from you is you're going to shorten that guy.
Foreshorten it, some might say.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah. And that creates the illusion that the face has this curvature to it.
Yeah, the face is turning away from you. Looks like he's got a big smile.
Hey! I might do some brows with my eyes.
Oh yeah, sure. I didn't really touch on brows at all, but
Yeah, you can browse. You
Touch
can
some
browse.
brows.
You can browse some brows.
browse these brows, my dude.
And
Can
yeah,
you put some brows on that?
and-
Can you put some brows on that mouse?
yeah, here they are.
I need those.
Aw.
Oh.
Hey, bud. I
And,
didn't know what way you were gonna go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can really affect the tone of the eyes just by adding some different sorts of brows, and those are just thick lines.
It's definitely a thing you learn when drawing eyes that, like I said earlier, small changes make for huge differences in expression.
Lids.
Add the lid, suddenly he goes from like angry with wide eyes
Now
to like
he's
skeptical.
Now he's like, I don't know, and now he's like really thinking
Now he's
about it.
very suspicious.
But yeah, so some other types of eyes you've got, and I don't want to just say anime because there's so many different types of eyes in anime. But let's maybe do like if you were like me and liked drawing a Super Saiyan in grade school, you know about the triangle eyes.
Nathan, I liked to draw Super Saiyan in grade
You
school.
know about the triangle eyes with the big bushy brows and just real tiny pupils.
I keep looking at the set of eyes on the bottom left, and it keeps making me laugh.
This is our student.
Oh, down there in the bottom left,
Yeah,
looking on like,
he's
what?
like, whoa, you could do all that with eyes?
I didn't know you could do all that with eyes.
So really, eyes, you can make them whatever shape you want. Like Julia's gonna get into some actual probably anatomy of eyes, but yeah, you can make them like this if that's what you're going for. I like these sort of swoopy because I'm not as good at just drawing at just busting out those good circles, so I like using straight lines to help.
Yeah, it's a nice look too. It gets a little bit of that more angular anime aesthetic.
Yeah,
Which when combined with Western cartooning styles looks real nice, I think.
Yeah, and again, eyes are real wet, so you often want to add like a shine, and then you can add the pupil, and then oftentimes in cartoons you can add even more detail, like this part of the eye.
Yeah, like the little iris.
Iris.
Not iris, but yes, iris.
I think iris.
You can also take eyes and make them like not wet for like varying effects. Like
Oh,
sometimes
yeah.
in like a lot of anime, I know they'll make a character with very dull eyes.
Oh
Yes.
yeah,
And
sure.
like the purpose of that will be to express something about that character. Like
They
it makes
dead.
them look less trustworthy or a
Yeah.
little more
like
They dead.
evil, or they dead.
yeah, like
Or they're
just-
dead on the inside. Like sometimes if something shocking happens and they go like,
Yeah,
They
there we
go
go.
dead-eyed.
Oh, that's like possessed eyes.
yeah, there it is. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Again, you can have more rounded eyes, and really dress them up, give them
Oh, yeah,
lashes.
get that big makeup.
You can do like this sort of.
Oh, I love the sparkle
Thing.
pupil. That's one of my go-tos for sure.
I'm just drawing. Just have a whole page full of eyes. You don't even need to draw any other part of the face. If you want to practice drawing a certain body part, you can just practice on that and find ones that you like and incorporate them into your work.
I definitely had notebooks in like high school where in the margins I would just draw like sets of eyes instead of paying attention.
I did that too. I would like find like a show or something where they did eyes in a way that I thought was really interesting, and so I would just like I still do it.
Oh yeah,
if I watch something and I'm like, oh, that's a cool way to draw eyes.
I do that in meetings. Bridgman, boss man Bridgman, if you're watching, that's a lie. I promise I do not.
I do just love like the half lid like.
Oh, that's a Nathan classic right there.
That is a Nathan classic.
So these are some eyes. I wanna make all these eyes smaller, so that Julia has room to do some magic.
So I'm going to draw anatomically correct eyes, I guess.
Nice.
And I'll start from the very beginning of how you do eyes, because I think that there's a lot of things in eyes that people forget, like the fact that they are not perfectly round. They're like round with a bump. So if you were going to do one eye, I can't draw circles. Here we go.
Wow, that was
close enough.
A very good circle.
Yeah. If you neg yourself.
Yeah. Here we go.
And if you do digitally, you can always make adjustments after.
So I'm gonna start off with handsome Caucasian man eyes. So you have your eyeball here, and then you have iris and your pupil.
Right. That's just an eye.
There we go.
Without a head.
There you go.
No lids.
That's all you need.
No nothing.
Yeah.
And we're done.
We did it.
You stick those on a face, it's gonna be real spooky.
Thanks for joining us here at Drawfee.
So you're lidding us up.
I am. We're getting somewhere.
So the part of the eye that you see at any given time on a person's face is not most of it. And so that's why it can roll around in there, it can move, you can
they're your face orbs.
They're your face orbs that you control.
Yeah, so you have this lid here, and then it goes down into this tear duct.
Right. You got
the
ducts.
top here. Yeah. Then you get that little duct that comes off of this main circle here, and it rounds here, and then your eyelids have thickness to it because it's multiple layers of skin, so sometimes people like to add in this. And then sometimes
I feel like
they'll
this
draw...
eye is representing your tiredness.
These are some...
My tiredness right now?
Being expressed through this eyeball you're drawing.
That's where
if
I
you
am.
want to just add bags and bags and
bags
wrinkles.
and bags and bags.
just to feel the crushing weight of...
there it is. Yeah, there it is.
It's Julia.
It's me right now. So you put the skin over the eyeball a little bit because there's going to be some thickness to that skin, so you go a little bit out further. Then you can do, if you want to simplify it, eyelashes, you just kind of
make a
thicken
thick,
this top.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there's also there's this little track that usually goes next to your eye with extra skin. It's to keep stuff from going into your tear duct. You got the bags, which usually you get this little, that's the rest of the bump that goes around your tear duct. These are your eye bags. This is usually an indicator of the bottom of your eyeball. I think the thing that people forget with eyes is that this part of your eye right here is that your eye at the side, like this juts out from the rest of your eye. So when you draw an eye from the side, people forget.
You draw that little triangle. Because eyes from the side are triangles for some reason.
Right.
Julia was unimpressed with your read.
Well,
on the situation.
they're more like pizza slices.
Yeah.
They are.
Excuse me.
That's the technical term.
Yeah, the pizza slice. So the pizza slice. So the part that I think everyone forgets about is that little bump that your iris and your cornea all have.
Never forget that bump.
So if you're
Julia's lesson to you. Remember the bump.
Remember the bump. Please.
Please.
Also, the thing that people forget is that the cornea and your iris goes down into a cone shape. So your pupil is actually in.
Yeah, your pupil's like a little hole.
So a lot of people kind of tend to draw your eye like that, and that makes you look like a cat person. So when you do eyes from the side, you put it in a bit.
Yeah, I definitely forgot that fact, and it's not that I just never ever knew it until right now.
Yeah, it's.
I just forgot. I definitely knew it.
We just forgot. I mean, that's what Julia said. People often forget.
Yeah. Like me, I forgot. But I totally knew it. I knew the whole thing. Yeah.
That's fine. I'm here mostly as a refresher. So keep that in mind when you're doing shading, because if the light is coming from here, that's how you get that weird reflection thing where, in anime a lot of the time you have it's dark here and then there's pupil and then there's that shine. So since it's going in that cone shape, the light is going to be hitting this part.
Right.
This bottom part because
You've
that's the part that's coming up.
And you've
That
got
makes
and you've
sense.
also got a lid covering the top part.
Right. So if you were
Casting a
to
shadow.
shade this part of the eye, that's how you get that shadow right there.
Right.
Yeah. That explains why also in anime eyes they do like that C-shaped blob of light on the underside of the eyeball, like where yours
Yeah.
is making it right now, but they always do that. I never really knew the reason. I just knew it looked cool.
And it's also because your eyes, since they are clear liquid, the light would travel through it and reflect back into the bottom of it,
Sure, yeah.
to the opposite side. So if you were to do like a half lid, also a rule with eyes is if you don't want your person to look crazy, you kind of have one, either the top or the bottom of this whole looky part of your eyeball to be touching one part.
Right.
Either the top
Yeah.
or the bottom.
Yeah, especially in a realistic looking eye,
Right.
to have the full iris and pupil in the
It's
middle.
very scary.
It's like, hey, what is that? I mean, you can do that, but
Yeah.
that's the effect you're gonna get.
Yeah, I mean, you just think about real life. If you see someone looking at you and their entire iris is exposed, it freaks you out. It's scary.
It's
Those
like-
people,
it's like, hey,
they got crazy
Hey,
eyes.
cut it out. I just have very wide eyes. I'm very interested.
Please tell me more.
Listen, everybody's got their own eyes. We're talking about artist shorthand for drawing eyes.
The other part with these eyeballs is I said Caucasian male because they have little second eyelids up here. So you get this line, and sometimes with heavier eyes, like with older people, you get that skin that kind of goes over that eyelid there, so it like makes this fun shape, and you can like see it come back down here.
You kids, you don't even know how much skin I've got to get out of the way just to open my eyes. Also, help me carry my bags. The different bags. I'm an old eye man.
Speaking of bags, with older people, their skin gets all wrinkly because of lack of hydration and elasticity. So you get these really thick bags, and you get these laugh lines here, and you get them here too.
I don't know why I've got laugh lines. I haven't felt joy my entire life. These are scowl lines. Don't you get it twisted, like my skin. It gets very twisted.
I have a myriad of problems.
But at least it's never too old to learn new things with Skillshare.
The only thing that makes me laugh is learning a new skill on the internet.
Guys, click the link in the description.
So eyes, 3.
Julia's doing such a good job teaching us.
So the other thing with this like bump thing, the reason why you have to like keep that in mind is that when you're looking in a direction, so like if I were to do an eye that's looking to the left, it would cause the upper eyelid to move a little more tense-like in that direction,
Sure.
like that. But if he was looking to the right, it would kind of round out a little bit
Oh.
because that bump is going to
It's like
cause
pushing
your.
the
I
eyelid
hate that I
around?
put these
Oh, yeah.
like this.
Oh, please
These
put
are-
a big scraggle-tooth smile right in between them.
Sorry about my friend Jeff. He's a grumpy goose, but me, I love looking at things.
I look at things over there, I look at things over here.
It's like I got picture in picture. I love starting a drawing from the eyes because you can just sort of surprise yourself with what you draw, and you end up with so much character just from that.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of those things that goes against conventional wisdom because a lot of people will say don't start a drawing with like a facial feature. Like start with like, the head shape first and then like start adding in the features. But
Right.
sometimes if I'm going for a specific expression, it actually helps me to start with like, if I know like the eyes are going to be making a very intense look, if I start with them, it helps inform for me what the other features should look like to match how it would be pulling the face.
Right, and also just like with digital drawing specifically, composition is something you can always work out after you've drawn your forms just because it's much easier to resize and move stuff around.
That's very
I
true.
feel like that sort of conventional wisdom comes from when you had your piece of paper and you didn't want to have to be constantly redrawing stuff.
Back in my day, I just had a piece of paper. Only one.
Only one piece of paper.
I had to be very careful about what I drew.
If I started with an eye and I messed it up, that was my drawing.
I couldn't get another piece of paper till the paper merchant came back to town.
Oh,
You having fun, Julia?
Julia's just drawing.
I
Julia's
was-
trying to convey how she's feeling to us with her drawing.
I was going to talk about it, but I liked y'all's bit, so I'm just gonna let it sit here.
But yeah,
and
this
then
is
people
what I
can
was.
figure out a lesson from there.
This is what I was talking about before. Is that faces are not flat, and so these
Right.
eyes are going at
like-
they're
this
angled
round.
from
I was gonna say how when we were talking about eyebrows, how if your eyebrows go, if you want a concerned look,
Mm-hmm.
like how eyebrows do that up thing.
They move the skin.
Yeah,
right?
so they'd move the skin down, so sometimes it will cut into like how that eye is. So like that skin's gonna
It's gonna affect the shape.
yeah.
'Cause
Depends on how
again-
fleshy your eyebrows
Because
are.
again, you're just articulating using lines what a three-dimensional form is doing,
Yeah.
and so it's gonna affect the shape.
Or conversely,
Mm-hmm.
just draw two circles really far apart and then put some dots in those circles.
Right.
And don't learn any of what Julia's trying to say to you.
Oh, it's a dinosaur face.
It's a beautiful dinosaur.
Look at this beautiful dinosaur. So yeah, feel free to draw along. Draw your eyes. Draw your mouse butts.
Fill up a page with eyes today. That's
Look
my
at
homework.
Look at some eyes. Look at your eyes. Try and make your eyes do some crazy stuff with your skin and see how that works for you. You know, try drawing a square eye. You can make an eye any shape you want. What?
You can even do what Julia's
You can
doing.
even do what Julia's doing, which is
Something.
it's something good.
Something that I hate. Remember when you're drawing your eyes, ask yourself, what would Jacob hate? And then do that. And send it to me. Make my life horrible by doing this.
Julia, this is a mouth. This isn't an eye.
Oh, God, it's open.
It's just
drooling
it doesn't
everywhere.
have a bottom. This is just a big eye creature we have.
Oh, Jesus. I don't even think Julia knows where her lines are going until they've already gone there.
So yeah, once you've filled up a page with eyes, a fun thing to do.
What is that?
Just
That's
draw,
another tongue.
Just draw some tongues. Just draw some open, gaping maws with tongues sticking out,
You can't
and
just put another tongue.
Oh, I can do whatever I want. I got the pen, my buddy.
it's your.
I got
it's
the
your
pen, my buddy.
drawing. You can do what you want. What are all these eyes saying? Because clearly these mouths do not work. They don't have bottoms, so it's just sort of a chorus of oh. And there is that's just a temporary tattoo. I think that.
It's a neck tat.
Oh no!
Oh no,
hold
he's
on.
really there.
Oh, he's standing. This is his friend.
His friend, the handstanding mouse. The eyeball homunculus and his best bud. Crinkles the handstanding mouse.
I hope there was some useful information. It was mostly during Julia's part.
There's not as much to say about if you're not talking about the actual anatomy.
Right. It's just
When it comes to cartooning, really simply, it's all about conveying an emotion or a feeling in the fewest lines possible.
right.
Oh, I
you know,
didn't
you're
talk about
trying
my
to
favorite eye.
you're trying to get to it
What's
without
Julia's favorite eye?
overworking.
The kind that you draw just sort of
On-
embedded in flesh?
Yes.
Mhm.
Julia's favorite eye is the one where it should not be.
Yeah, see, Julia's good at just sort of making eyes any shape. But it is, you can tell she's doing the thing where she does have the pupil is still recessed.
Yeah,
it
it's
is
sunken in. Oh, the bags are dripping below the teeth.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Julia,
gonna
I
keep
want you to just heck up all the eyes that I draw now.
Can you just
from
put
now
like
on.
nice, calm elevator music and just let this go?
Yeah, normally we fade to like a colored version, but I kind of like that this will just be... We'll do like a slow zoom with the elevator music while you
Where would you
do
zoom?
this. Just sort of in.
I think we have to zoom into my initial horrified face.
Yeah.
That's
I'll
the
help.
one that expresses the true emotion of this creature.
This has been your draw class. Again, if you want to learn real things, please check out Skillshare. They were very nice. They've sponsored a number of our episodes.
They won't
and,
anymore.
This is the last
this
one.
is the last one. So let's make it count. Again, this offer is just for January. Start 2018 off by learning some stuff. Use the link in the description. Again, you'll pay 99 cents and then get 3 months of unlimited access to their 18,000 plus classes they have available. It doesn't have to even be art stuff. If you're interested in learning about any sort of creative endeavor, take a peek at what they have to offer. Beware the wall of eyes as it comes towards you in the night. Julia, we're just gonna let you go.
It's very soothing to
This
me.
has been Drawfee. Check out Skillshare. Thank you again, Skillshare. We are very sorry.
I'm sorry.
There's too many eyes. Julia's gone.